Brock Lesnar wasn't supposed to beat John Cena. Outrage at WWE WrestleMania ticket prices. My review of Monday Netflix Raw, and more. I'm Ollie Davis, and this is the WrestleTalk News.
Support WrestleTalk!
When WWE first announced its $1.6 billion 5-year deal with ESPN last month, many became concerned over the sports network's journalistic integrity. Would they continue to cover the company with the same level of scrutiny? Or would they just write puff pieces because of the conflict of interest? It immediately didn't look good when ESPN removed any AEW coverage from their site. Then last week they published an article titled, "How Seth Rollins Pulled Off the Biggest Injury Ruse in WWE History," despite most places reporting it was a worked angle a month before the reveal. But the truth is a light that can never be extinguished, and that light came in ESPN's review of their own WWE show with the clearly underwhelmed title, WWE WrestlePalooza Grades. Did Rhodes, McIntyre, Cena, Lesnar get above average marks? Not WrestlePalooza sets records, not heartwarming Stephanie McMahon surprise, not even WWE and ESPN start strong. But was it above average? Going by ESPN's own review, no. WWE WrestlePalooza final grade, C. The excellent Vicar vs Sky match saved this show from being truly average. It was a phenomenal display inside the squared circle. Everything else was either underwhelming, the short Rhodes McIntyre match, or a setup for a future match, Lesnar dominating Cena. Yeah, sure. Set up for a future match. For a card that promised to have epic moments, it fell a little short of expectations. I'm sure we all equally feel ESPN's pain at being disappointed with WrestlePalooza. Many of us paid $30 to watch the show, and ESPN paid $1.6 billion. The crazier thing is, though, WWE could have put on a far more exciting show, but for whatever reason, they turned that creative down. The first match on the card was Brock Lesnar effectively squashing John Cena in under 9 minutes. It started with Brock suplexes, Cena made a short comeback with 3 AAs, and then Lesnar finished him off with 6 F5s. But apparently, on the very morning of the show, this wasn't the plan. When everyone started arriving on Saturday for WrestlePalooza, Bodyslam.net is reporting Cena was scheduled to defeat Lesnar. They don't know the reason this changed so late in the day, but Wrestling Observer have reported that John Cena might be the one behind the decision, as he wants to put over people on his way out. Because that's what Brock Lesnar needs. More building. I had actually already predicted this worst timeline. Why would WWE go through the risk of controversy of bringing Lesnar back if he was going to lose his first match? Yes, they did do that in 2012, but now Brock for them must be a long-term attraction. Otherwise, why bother having him return whilst the Janelle Grant lawsuit in which he's referenced is still ongoing? Also, Cena won't be around next year. Brock will. While I don't agree with the booking, I can definitely see a WWE mindset where they feel they need to keep Lesnar strong, and they know that Cena won't really lose anything. Especially when he beats Brock in the rematch in one of his final matches. Right? Right? Not so, according to Wrestling Observer Live, who claimed there isn't going to be another Lesnar vs Cena match. WrestlePalooza was their last one, and Brock won't be John's final opponent. Fightful claimed that Cena vs Lesnar was, at one point, scheduled to be the main event of the show. Cena winning in that slot makes far more sense, sending the inaugural ESPN crowd home happy. Perhaps the match being moved to the opener happened at the same time they decided Brock was going over. Instead, Cody Rhodes vs Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship closed the show. In ESPN's own words, this felt more like a main event of SmackDown than the headliner of a PLE, which we paid $1.6 billion for. But according to Bodyslam.net, Cody and Drew pitched an idea to creative that would have made a huge angle to begin the new ESPN era. One that WWE ultimately turned down. Apparently, they pitched the idea of Randy Orton showing up, who was taken out by Drew weeks ago, and accidentally costing Cody his title, finally making McIntyre the WWE champion. Rhodes would then feud with Drew, eventually win the title back, at which point Orton would turn heel on Cody to set up a big match between the two. Maybe even at WrestleMania 42, which I'm just about to buy tickets for, right? Yep, just selling all of my old DVDs to make some money for that. And then my house. And I'm also gonna sell, what's that organ that you can just have one of? Oh, that's right, lungs. I'm going to sell one lung. Because PW Insider has confirmed the 2-day ticket prices for WrestleMania 42 that will go on sale later this week, which takes place at the Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas for the second year in a row. Hold on to your testicles. They cost $854 for the cheapest tickets. This is for the 400 section, which apparently has this view. So you're going to be the furthest away from the ring you can possibly be. The price obviously increases the closer you get in the stands, and then takes a huge jump to $3,868 by the time you get to the floor seats, which goes up to the highest price of $8,998 for Section A1, the closest area to the ring. With Mania being on 2 nights, each amount does get you 2 tickets, so there's an argument you can halve the cost for the true single event price. But this also comes before Ticketmaster and handling fees. Having back-to-back Manias in the same location gives us a uniquely like-for-like comparison. In the exact same stadium, just 1 year previously, the cheapest 2-day pass ended up being $545. That makes it a 57% increase year on year on just the cheapest Mania 42 tickets. And we don't yet know the true most expensive ones, as the big fan experience packages are yet to come out. But we know last year someone paid so much it made Randy Orton personally embarrassed.
Our seats were like, what, 30,000?
Yeah. This is our first Mania. I'm like, you know what, go big or go home. I know.
Mania 42 might be more in demand than usual though, as the following years will be in Saudi Arabia, which most normal people won't travel to. It really feels like TKO are close to breaking their most loyal fan base by extracting as much money from them as corporately possible. Oh my god, Asuka just turned heel! Who cares? Sign me up for Section A1! 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 That is a very specific joke. You have to have seen both the latest Superman movie and mid-noughties TNA to get it. Comment A1 down below for Team Canada. Now it's time for my review of Monday Netflix Raw in about 5 minutes. Raw was the best it's been in months because, crucially, stuff actually happened, like storylines and characters actually progressed. And some of the matches weren't just variations on the same ones I've been watching all year. Even commentary was revamped, with Wade Barrett thankfully making his safe return from witness protection after Nikki Bella put a hit out on him. The show opened with Cody Rhodes talking about the 1 ring to rule them, the crown jewel ring, and then he said he actually wants 9 rings to rule them, as he's got lots of naked fingers. Who the hell does he think he is? King John? The vision interrupted as Seth Rollins is Cody's opponent for that ring, and now he's momentarily free from CM Punk. Seth got to be actually interesting. For the first time since his heel turn, we got to see actual psychological depth to his character. He wasn't boastful or obnoxious, he simply asked Cody, what does he think of him? Despite everything, they were friends, but a lot has changed since they were last together. Cody, in the Jungian therapy style, flipped the question back on him. What does Seth think about Seth? Which let the Rollins mask slip. If Cody keeps saying he's the quarterback, he must not believe Seth is the future. Just like the best parts of Roman Reigns as tribal chief, Seth suddenly feels insecure. Rollins said he'll prove he's the alpha, and Cody had the great closing line asking of the 3 matches they've had, how many has Seth won? Presumably setting Rollins up for a win at Crown Jewel. Penta and the War Raiders beat the New Day and Grayson Waller, because of course they did. They always do. I have no idea why Penta is still in this storyline, and even less of an idea as to why the tag titles aren't around actually active tag teams. At least the match was really fun though, with Penta hitting a top rope Mexican destroyer on Waller to win. Stephanie Vaquer got a brief title celebration in the ring, cutting a promo in English and Spanish. I was waiting for someone to interrupt her to start off her championship reign with a hot new program. But then Adam Pearce reminded me it's all about the 1 ring to rule them. And her next feud is actually whoever wins the women's title match on SmackDown. Nikki Bella and Rhea Ripley congratulated Stephanie backstage afterwards. Asuka got in Rhea's face, setting up the main event. Bayley, now in hugger mode again, asked Lyra Valkyria to be in her corner against Roxanne Perez, seemingly not remembering angry Bayley from last week. Lyra helped Bayley win by taking out Raquel Rodriguez post-interference, but Bayley flipped again and shoved Lyra to the ground in the post-match. This is too goofy for me. Dominic Mysterio guilted JD McDonough into a match against Rusev, where Rusev is so not over, the crowd really got behind kind of heel JD. McDonough was excellent in this match though, and psychologically, he became the underdog babyface. He's not the long-term focus though, so he tapped to Rusev in the accolade. Dominic didn't save him, presumably because he's scared of Rusev, so Finn Balor ran down for the rescue. Defend the tag titles already! It'll be Dom versus Rusev for the IC title next week. The Bloodline saga saw Jey Uso's continuing meanness. Jimmy was angry that Jey got himself a match against LA Knight rather than a rematch against the Bronze, which was booked for next week. Cody Rhodes shared a heart-to-heart with Jey, saying some nice things about ups and downs in the business, but he's got family and friends who believe in him. Yep, I'm sure that minute-long chat solved mental health. And then, presumably cleared from the concussion protocol he reportedly entered after WrestlePalooza, Jey had an intense match with LA Knight. But Braun's interference distracted Knight, and Jey capitalized to get the win, furthering his more selfish character, leaving Jimmy to save Knight. The biggest development here, though, was that this wasn't the main event, thank God. For the first time in 3 months, we didn't end with the same kind of Vision, Jey Knight, blah 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 angle. Becky Lynch was being Lady Macbeth ranting behind Rollins backstage. We got a video package for Los Americanos now that the gimmick is a trios thing. This is nowhere near as funny as before. They'll have a tag match against AJ Lee next week, by which I mean AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. And the main event finally moved the long-running Asuka arrogance into its next phase. But just before I get into that big angle, please sign up to WrestleTalk's newsletter and social channels. You might have noticed over the last few months that lots of YouTube creators are talking about how the videos they make aren't getting served to their subscribers. That's because YouTube, in their infinite wisdom, have changed the algorithm, and it's increasingly not showing you our latest uploads. So let's just cut out the middleman. Or woman! It's 2025! We can send you our videos directly as soon as they're live. Just join our WhatsApp and Instagram broadcast channels or sign up to our email newsletter by clicking the links in the video description below. It takes 2 seconds and is totally free, so do it! Do it now! I'm actually gonna wait for you. Link's down there, just click it, sign up. Then we'll message you. I know you're waiting for me to get on with the rest of the review. But have you done it? Have you done it yet? Rhea Ripley brought some much-needed freshness to Raw's main event spot. This is only her 4th TV match in the last 3 months, and she's missed wrestling on the last 2 PLEs as well. And Asuka is one of the best wrestlers in the whole company. Asuka was so vicious and dangerous, in fact, it convincingly made Rhea feel like the underdog. But Asuka forcing Kairi to interfere backfired, and Ripley got the roll-up win. It was all about the post-match angle, though. Asuka misted Rhea so hard she effectively became a smurf, and she forced Kairi to beat her down too. Io ran down for the save, but Asuka turned on her as well, surely building to a big tag match in Perth. This week's Raw is 78%. Remember to join our WhatsApp and Instagram channels and sign up to the WrestleTalk newsletter, and click the video on screen now to learn all about the behind-the-scenes fallout of WrestlePalooza and a major change coming to AEW.